How's it going, guys? It's Lord Psycho OG here. I wanted to put a quick annotation before you watch the video that Self Revive is actually $4,500 in solos, not $5,000. It's $4,500. So every time you see me referencing $5,000, just realize that that's $45 in game. But the results for the Self Revive successfulness test still stand. So it's $4,500, not $5K. Anyways, guys, enjoy the video. Hello gamers, it's Lord Psycho OG here, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about, is Self Revive worth the $5,000 price point that is in Warzone solos at this moment. So this video is going to be all about should you be spending that $5,000 on Self Revive, and I measured it. I did took a little while to make this video, but I wanted to get something that actually had something measurable that we could all look at. Let's get right into the data and kind of see what I measured. So there should be a Google sheet on the screen, and it's going to show 30 rounds and different categories in which I used to measure Self Revive and if it was actually worth the $5,000 or not. And so first I'm going to tell you about the categories that I measured and what each of those categories mean. So one I have is called saves. Now, saves basically is just, was I able to get the Self Revive off? Now this is just a simple measurement. You know, when I got down and I start popping it, if I got up, I counted that as a save. I didn't count, you know, if I got up and I won the gunfight, because that's pretty subjective. Next is non-saves. Now this is exactly the opposite. I got shot, I had the Self Revive, I started it, the guy came up, bam bam, shot me, I died, I didn't get it off. That's a non-save. The next category I measured is wins caused. Now, wins caused was a specific scenario that came about that I decided to measure, and this was a scenario where, say if you were to buy Self Revive and you get it off, right, and as a result of getting it off, you have a better chance of winning, and you end up winning that game. I actually got a win that you're going to see in the video like that. And I think that this was important to have in there for those people who are more casual gamers that play Warzone that may not get a bunch of wins all the time. Having that Self Revive enable you to get that win may change your whole perspective and your willingness to buy that perk based off, you know, the type of player that you are and the fact that you got the win, right? And so I wanted to have that in there. And last but not least is never used. Now, this may have been something that just happened to me, but there was a time where I got shot a couple times in the head by a sniper, and my Self Revive didn't activate, right? And I knew I had purchased it because I made a mark on my chart here, and I marked it after every time where I would go and buy the Self Revive. I would instantly mark it so that I wouldn't forget later in the game. So I know I had it. It just wasn't, it didn't trigger. And then another time I won the game, right? I spent the $5,000 on it. I never went down. I didn't end up using it. What could I have spent that money on? So I tracked that as well. So saves, non-saves, wins caused, and never using it were the things that I measured. So now that we know what I measured, and now that I've given you the categories and what they mean, let's kind of look at the results and kind of see, is Self Revive worth spending $5,000 on it or not? So now that we have seen what I measured, now that we've seen the criteria that I measured, let's actually get into the results and see what what were the results of this 30 game test. So out of 30 games, Self Revive only saved me 3 times. So I was only able to get that full Self Revive off and get up 3 times. 24 times I got killed instantly after getting down, right? That person came up to me, I was getting it off, he shot me. That didn't work. One time, which you're seeing in this video, I was able to get the Self Revive off, and because of that I was able to win the game. And 3 times I never even used the Self Revive, whether that be due to the bug or I actually won the game. And so right off the bat you can see that Self Revive didn't work for me most of the time. Or I just never even used it, right? 24 times out of 30, plus never using it 3 times, so 27 times where it actually didn't get engaged in the game, is a pretty high number out of 30, right? Whereas it did help me in 3 occasions. I only won the game, turns out, one time. And so looking at the data itself, right, if we were to scale this out and say that out of 100 games, I'm only able to get that self-revive off 10 times, and I spent, $50,000 on self-revives, it doesn't make sense, at least for me, and I don't think that self-revive should be purchased if you're playing solos at that $5,000 price point. And so now that I've shown you the data, I've shown you what I measured, and I've shown you the results of what I got, and I've given you kind of my opinion. I kind of want to tell you guys why I don't feel like self-revive is worth the $5,000 price point for solos. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk about it being the type of perk that it is, right? Self-revive is a reactive perk. And so what I mean by that is it's only going to engage, it's only going to help you when you're basically getting shot at to the point where you're supposed to die. You can't call in self-revive like you could a UAV. It's a different type of perk. It's a reactive perk that happens when you're supposed to die. Whereas if you were to spend that money on, let's say, a UAV, which is $4,000, that is a proactive perk, right? And what I mean by proactive is you're able to call it in whenever you want. You can use it to seek out enemies. You can use it to gain information and kind of see, all right, I don't want to move here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to, rotate this way. And you have control of when you can call it in, right? It's something that you're in full control over. And it's proactive. It allows you to do these things, but it also can be reactive, right? Where you have an enemy pushing you, you don't know where they're at, so you call in the UAV to kind of give you some more information. I think that we should start prioritizing those perks more so than the self-revive, right? Based on what we found here, because they're a better bang for our buck. They'll give us a better chance of winning the game because self-revive isn't really helping us right now. And you're in full control of these things. Secondly, with the recent update to loadout costs, right? Beforehand, loadout costs you $6,000, and in solos is different than squads. You don't have 3 guys running around separately that are able to get loot and put their money together once they have the amount to get your loadout. All that money is yours to find and yours to redeem. So spending $5,000 on something that's only going to help you 10% of the time isn't really a good way to spend your money when you have to spend a loadout, when you can save and use that to add to the 3,500 that you need to get you a loadout with ghost or perks that you're comfortable with, guns that you're accurate and comfortable with, and it'll help you win more gunfights that you're going to need to win in order to be successful in a battle royale. I think that it's better to save that $5K and use it towards that loadout rather than spending it on a self-revive kit. That's going to cost you $5K and probably not help you out anyways. And so knowing that it is a reactive perk and that it is kind of not at least helping, it hasn't helped me right now. What would I like to see in order to make it worth that $5K? For me, I would be willing to buy it if it had some type of passive attached to the self-revive, right? If the self-revive maybe happened faster, right? If that self-revive, if I'm spending $5K, this thing is going to knock it out and I'm going to get back up quickly. Or it has, it gives me a quarter more additional armor in front of those 3 plates. Or my health regens a little bit faster. Some type of passive to make it more enticing. That $5K price point is still a little bit too high for me. That would probably be the solution that I think would be able to make this thing more feasible and more worth that price point. Or I don't know, maybe it's my playstyle, right? Maybe this is something that doesn't fit my playstyle, but may fit somebody else's playstyle who likes to be on roofs and snipe, and they get down by a person on the ground. They're not going to be able to get thirsted right away. So that's what I would like to see in terms of a solution, possibly to making self-revive worth that $5,000 price point that it's at right now. So, if you guys would like to see something like this for squads or for solos, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will do a measurement where I'm playing squads, and over 30 games, I see if buying self-revive is worth it in squads, right? Because that's a whole different scenario, and that's why I only wanted to do it for solos, because solos you're on your own, and this may be definitely different in a squad scenario. But if you guys want me to do that, please let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you guys like the video, please make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel. It took me about 2 weeks to get all the data in terms of buying the self-revive, measuring it. Sometimes I missed marking down you know, whether it worked or not, so I had to do that game again. It took a while. So if you guys like the video, please make sure you support it. I'm looking to do more videos like this all the time, so subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. With that, I'm gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of this Warzone solos.
God,
the one-time self-revive worked for me. With that, I'm out of here. You guys have a nice day.
Gas is moving.
I'm driving.
Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy UAV overhead. Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone. Got a loadout drop inbound. Enemy UAV overhead. Losing ground. To the left, keep the pressure on. Gas is moving in. New safe zone located. Enemy UAV overhead. Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Only 5 left. Gas is inbound. Gas is moving in. New safe zone located. You gotta slot this bastard now.